In this video, I have put together all the methods that you need to enhance your English in 2025. The very first topic we have is learn from movies. Before we dive into today's video, let me quickly remind you that the English Speaking Club is back. The new batch is starting on 1st of March, which gives you enough time to register. All the details that you would need for the course is available on our website on english.learnwith, you have to write the full form, of course, learnwithsamanash.com. The batch price is minimum and the timing is according to your comfort. So quickly visit our website and register for the course, because this class, English Speaking Club, is designed only to practice English with speaking partners. Thank you. First movie we have today is Forrest Gump. How many of you have watched this movie? If you have, leave a comment. I want to see how many of you have already watched all the 10 movies. If you are one of them, you are with me on this. So the first movie we have is Forrest Gump, and the reason why we have chosen this movie is very simple. The language, or I can say the dialogues in this movie, are very simple and clear. It's not fast. You will easily understand this. So you have to understand that every dialogue is captured with a particular emotion. If you don't capture the emotions properly, half of our dialogues become really plain. What am I trying to say here is that if you're talking to somebody in actual life, you just don't have to give dialogues after dialogues. You have to capture them with particular emotions. How sadness is conveyed, how happiness is conveyed. So when I'm talking about something exciting, I should feel the emotion. If I'm talking about something really, really sad, I should feel the emotion. All right. Now, let me take you to the next understanding on how to watch this particular movie, or most importantly, what is the tip behind this movie. The tip is focus on Forrest expressions. The main character of the movie is Forrest Gump. You have to focus on his expressions. And most importantly, focus on the storytelling style. As I said in the start of this video, every movie is chosen for a fact. This movie is chosen because it has simple and clear dialogues, and more importantly, you will understand how to capture the storytelling and how to capture a particular expression. Okay? Since we are talking about advanced English, if I'm saying something in a particular way, my emotion should be in that particular way as well. That brings me to the next movie, and the next movie is King's Speech, one of my personal favorites. This one is chosen for a very simple reason. It focuses on speech struggles. If you are somebody who has any sort of speech struggle, if you stutter a little bit or maybe a lot, this is the particular movie that you should definitely watch. No matter, even if you have this particular problem, you can still overcome it, and that's what is shown in this movie. Now, what is the tip behind this movie? The tip is very simple. Note the pacing and the pronunciation. Note the pacing and the pronunciation of the word. What do I mean by pacing? Pacing simply means speed. Okay? Speed. Now, listen to me. If I speak really, really fast, I'm a fast-paced speaker. If I speak really slow and I want all of my audience to enjoy the process, I'm a slow-paced speaker. In this particular movie, you have to understand what is the pace of the characters and also how a particular word is pronounced. This entire movie is in British accent, so you can actually pay attention on a lot of British pronunciation. Moving on, the movie number 3 is The Devil Wears Prada. If you are somebody who enjoys a lot of girls fight and cat fight, you are somebody who enjoys slow movie but have a lot of love angle to it, this is the movie that you can definitely watch. One of my favorites again. In this particular movie, what I liked is the conversational English. What do I mean by conversational English? If you and I are talking, how to start a small conversation. If I'm meeting you for the first time, how can I start a conversation? If I'm going to my job, if I'm going to my workplace, what could be my style of communicating? This is what you will find in this movie. Conversational English, slang, and workplace language. This entire movie is shot in a workplace environment. It's a fashion industry where this entire movie is shot. So you will find a lot of slangs to be used in that particular environment. And again, as I was saying, most importantly, the tip in this particular movie would be that pick up the vocabulary related to office culture and casual speech. Since there is an office setting, so a lot of formal discussions are happening, and also two friends are talking, so there is a lot of casual discussions happening. Okay, again, if you are somebody who enjoys watching movie, I would recommend to pick any one of them. Don't watch all 10 of them in the start. Watch one movie at a time. How to watch it is something that we'll be talking about in the future segment of this course. Okay, right now I'm just giving you names after names. The next movie in our series is Notting Hill. Okay, this particular movie is my favorite because it has, you must be thinking, Ash, every movie is your favorite. How many movies do you watch? Oh my god, I'm a huge movie, what would be that right word? Hogger? Maybe I watch a lot of movies. This one is really good because it has natural, slow-paced British and American English mix. Okay, the actress is American. This one. She is, okay, sorry. This person over here, this is American, and this person over here is British. I am not very good at remembering the names of the characters, so you can definitely watch the movie and understand who is who, what is the name of the actors and actresses. Okay, moving on. The tip for watching this movie is practice intonation. You have to practice the intonation and the polite phrases used in daily interactions. Since these both characters meet on daily basis, so there are a lot of phrases that are used for daily interactions. Again, I'm telling you what to remember from each movie. Notting Hill has something to offer. Devil's Wear Prada has something else to offer. So let's capture those things from these movies. Also, we have something called as intonation. Intonation is this particular pattern where my voice can go up and then slowly comes down. And it can again go up because I have something important to share. But since I have to deliver in a very natural and a calming voice, I'll go down. Okay. So this up and down in the voice, which is called as voice modulation, is called as intonation. We have already talked about pace. We are talking about intonation. Okay. That brings me to my next movie, which is Dead Poets Society. If you are interested in poetry, and this happens, sorry for that. If you're somebody who is interested in poetry, if you like slow movies, if you like dark theme movies where, a lot of conversations are happening, this is the movie for you. And the reason why I picked this particular movie is very simple. It has clear inspirational speeches. Lot of speeches are there in this movie with academic vocabulary. If you are going for universities, if you are going for colleges, if you are going for further education, this is a very good movie for you to watch. Okay, now that brings me to our next movie. And the tip, of course, how can I forget the tip? The tip to watch this movie is focus on expressions of the emotion and storytelling techniques. Am I missing something here? Maybe I might have missed something here. I'm sorry for that. So again, expressions are really important. Storytelling is really important. That's what exactly is happening in these two movies. Next, we have a Social Network. I'm 100% sure half of the crowd has already watched this one. This movie is about Facebook, how Facebook was introduced or founded, I would say that. How Mark Zuckerberg came into picture. This is the actor who played the role. And the reason why I picked this movie is because it has a lot of fast-paced conversational English. Friends are talking, they're starting a business, they're starting a startup. So there's a lot of conversation. And it has modern conversation, nowadays situation, Gen Z's kind of situations. This is a movie for you if you are looking for something like that. The tip for watching this movie is to focus on clarity and sentence structure. Sentence structure is a part of grammar. Okay? Am I creating compound sentence? Am I creating complex sentences? Am I using simple sentences? So a lot of sentence structure is dealt in this particular movie, and also a lot of clarity is there. Slowly and gradually, speech develops. Though the movie is very quick, everything is happening quick there, but since this sentence structure and clarity is something that you should be focusing on, how to have correct sentence structure even when the dialogues are fast. Okay? Moving on to the next one, we have The Pursuit of Happiness. I'm 100% sure, again 200% sure, all of you have watched this movie. If yes, you must have noticed that this movie has a lot of inspirational dialogues, and there's a lot of relatable conversations happening. There's a conversation between a father and the son. A lot of conversation is happening between father and son. There are conversations happening between a man and his office employee. There are conversations happening between the man and his wife. There are conversations happening between man and his friends. So everything is happening in this movie. So it has a lot of inspirational story with clear and relatable dialogues. You will find a lot of good words in this movie. Moving on, the tip to watch this movie would be very simple. Again, you have to focus on expressions. You have to focus on phrases. You have to focus on emotional expressions in this movie. There's a phrase there's a meme, I guess, emotional damage. This is what we're talking about. A lot of emotional damage is happening in this movie. But again, really inspiring, good English, good sentences, and lot of wonderful phrases which you can directly pick and start using in your life. Okay? The video is becoming really lengthy, so I'm going to remind you about the English course, which is on english.learnwithsamanash.com. Go there. The batch is starting on 20th of January. Let's come back to the video. Next is Finding Nemo. Very entertaining, very fun, cartoonish movie. But again, it has something inspiring. The movie has simple language for beginners to understand spoken English. If you are somebody who is just starting English, this is the movie. Finding Nemo. Lot of simple conversations. The reason or the tip to watch this movie would be, it has a lot of conversational phrases. Now, when I say conversational phrases, what I mean here is that two people are talking to each other. No, only one person is not talking. They are having conversations. So when two people have conversations, they have phrases, they have everyday words. So what can I pick from this movie? That's what you're going to pick. All right. Moving on to the next one is Julie and Julia. If you are a huge fan of cooking, this doesn't look like cooking, right? I'm going to erase that. Sorry. Moving on. If you are a huge fan of cooking, if you are a fan of writing, if you are a fan of a lot of dishes, Julie and Julia is your movie. I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. I'm going to take you why we have picked this movie. We have picked this movie for a very simple reason. This movie has a lot of professional and personal conversation. Personal conversation are between a wife and a husband, and the professional conversation happened between this wife and the other woman in the movie. So again, has a lot of conversation. You can definitely pick something and start using in your life. The tip to watch this movie would be, notice how characters switch between casual and formal tones. Okay? If you are in a workplace, you will choose a formal tone. If you're talking to your husband, to a friend, you will pick a casual tone. Now, a lot of people or a lot of students are not aware of how to switch between casual to formal tones. This movie will help you in that. That brings me to my next movie is the Harry Potter series. If you are somebody who has already watched the above movies, you are looking for something really advanced, this is the movie you can watch. Now, one interesting thing about this movie is that starting from the first one, the language is simple. As and when you move to the last movie in this series, it becomes really hard. So start from the series, I would say movie 1, and then slowly and gradually you can see your language developing. The reason we have picked this movie, it's because of everyday English with storytelling magic. Again, half of you already know what is Harry Potter, so I'm not going to explain much into this, but I'm going to directly show you the tip to watch this movie, and the tip would be how to describe events. A lot of job interviews have this question asked that, imagine yourself in this situation, a project is happening, this particular problem has occurred, how will you solve it? So what they're asking you to is to describe a particular event, how you're going to handle that. This movie will help you to describe events and also build vocabulary from the dialogues. Okay? How to describe something, how to describe an event, you can learn from this movie. And that brings me to our next question. And the next question is how to use these movies. We have already talked about 10 movies. How many names do you remember, guys? Leave in the comment section how many names you remember, and also tell me how many movies have you already watched. If I tell myself how many I have watched, I think all of them. I've watched Notting Hill, I've watched Julie and Julia, I have watched Pursuit of Happiness, Forrest Gump. These are the names that I'm remembering. Harry Potter series. Not a huge fan of Harry Potter. I'm so sorry to say that. I know a lot of hate will be there in the comment section. Ash, how can you not like Harry Potter? Guess what? My husband is a huge fan. I'm not. So again, let me talk about how to watch these movies. This is how you're going to watch it. First, you will watch the movies with subtitles. Again, this particular segment that we are talking today is the activity number 1, movie clips. If you are in basic level of English, if you're just starting now, start with movie clips, which you will find on YouTube. But if you are somebody who is not in basic level, is at intermediate level, you can directly watch a movie with the subtitles. Step 2, you have to repeat the dialogues. Now, when I say watch a movie, I only expect you to watch it for 15-20 minutes per day. 15-20 minutes per day. Don't watch the entire movie. If you watch for 15-20 minutes and if you have a couple of dialogues, repeat them. What is happening here? When you repeat a dialogue, you capture the pronunciation, you capture the grammar range, you capture vocab which is used in that movie, and next one is you have to write down these phrases and these words that you have collected. Now, Ash, if I watch a movie for 15-20 minutes, I'm guessing I may find 15 different words that I don't know what to do. No, let's not worry about them. Out of those 15, just capture 3. Okay, this is the activity for Monday. Monday, I'm watching a movie for 15-20 minutes. I have recorded 3 phrases, 3 words, and that's enough. Rest of them you can ignore. Okay, I don't want you to pack your words, pack your bag with a lot of words, and then the bag is heavy and you never use it. No, that's not what we're going to do here. We'll be watching a movie for 15-20 minutes. We'll repeat the dialogues, all of them, and we'll collect only 3 words. We'll take a notebook, write down these 3 words there, write their meaning in front of them. And the last one, this is very important. This particular part will help you to improve your English. Summarize. If you have watched a movie for 15-20 minutes, close the movie or, turn off your computer, stand here or sit down, whatever you want to do, it's your choice. Summarize it. You can say, just now I have watched Julie and Julia. In this particular movie, there is this cook who was really famous and wrote a book, and there is other character, blah, blah, blah. So whatever you have watched in that particular time frame, you have to summarize it. And when we say summarize, summary has to be a little short. You can summarize something in 5 sentences and that's good enough. I don't want you to summarize in 20 sentences, no. In speaking, 5 sentences are enough. Method 2 is read more. What to read and how to read. And please remember, everything that we are discussing in today's session has a direct implication on enhancing our English. That's what we are trying to do in today's video. How to read to enhance my English. Alright, let's talk about it. The first understanding we should have about reading is, who is reading? Let's take example of two people. We have Ash and then we have Sam. Both of them are trying to read books. I'm gonna zoom it a little bit so that you guys can find it comfortable. Okay, so there is Ash and there is Sam. Ash is somebody who is reading to enhance to, I'm gonna repeat this, sorry for it. Ash is somebody who's reading because she has a hobby of reading. She enjoys reading books. She reads a lot of novels, a lot of self-help books, and she's just amazed by it. On the other hand, Sam is somebody who is reading to learn English. He might be trying to learn vocab by reading. He might be trying to work on his grammar while reading. Whatever the reason for his to read, that's what we're going to understand in today's session. Okay? We have two kinds of people. People who read as an hobby, people who read to learn. Write down in the comment section which category you fall, hobby or learning. Now, if you fall into the category of hobby or learning, there are few principles that all of you should be following without any failure. You have to understand this very carefully. If you're reading for hobby or you're reading for learning, these things apply to you all. Pick books at your level and read for 15 to 20 minutes per day. 15 to 20 minutes per day is mandatory. If you really want to see some outcomes, if you want to really see some benefits out of reading, you should do it 15 to 20 minutes and you should do it daily. Now, according to my table, I specifically said 3 times a week is also enough. Based on your schedule, 3 times a week is more than enough. Okay? You have to pick books at your level. If you are at basic, if you're reading for the first time, you just pick the book. Don't read something which is heavy like Sapiens. Don't read such books. You have to pick books at your level. The biggest mistake a lot of my students have made in the past, they're starting to read for the first time and they pick books which are way beyond their understanding. And what happens after certain chapters or maybe after certain pages, they lose interest. They become bored. So if you are somebody who is interested in science, pick books from science club at basic level. If you are somebody who has read 2 to 3 books in the past, you can pick something of your subject, of your interest, and you can go with the intermediate books. Alright? Now, choose topics you are genuinely interested. Science, sports, cooking, investment, self-help books, novels, anything that you are genuinely interested in. You should only pick such books. And finally, and most importantly, switch between fiction, non-fiction, articles and stories. Don't always read books. Sometimes you can read articles found in newspapers and you can read short stories. Where will you find short stories? Where will you find articles? I'm going to show you in the coming slides. Now, once we are clear what are the basic parameters one should follow, let's talk about if you are reading for hobby, what kinds of books you could read. This is the example of kinds of books you should read if you are reading for hobby. We have Preeti Shenoy, Durjoy Dutt, Ruskin Bond, Vikram Seth, Amish Tripathi, Arundhati Roy, Sudha Murthy, Mulk Raj Anand. I have picked some of my favorites and some which really write some cool novels. They're easy to understand. You can, if you're reading for the first time, you can start with Sudha Murthy. If you're reading for the first time, start reading Sudha Murthy. There is another writer, Chetan Bhagat. Lot of students prefer to read Chetan Bhagat as well. If you want to have some interest in reading, you can start with Chetan Bhagat. You can start with Vikram Seth, very nice writer, or Preeti Shenoy and Durjoy Dutt. These writers write novels, I can say fiction. They imagine things and they write. The language of these books are very simple. The grammar structure or the vocab they use are very easy to understand. If you want to upgrade the level a little bit, You can start reading Amish Tripathi. You can start reading Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond writes both types of books, simple and intermediate. And finally, we have Arundhati Roy. Arundhati Roy has some really good novels, hard to understand a little bit, but if you want to go to intermediate to advanced level, these are the writers I'm going to suggest. Apart from that, if you want to try some other countries' origin writers, you can read Mitch Albom, my all-time favorite. I have read all the books that Mitch Albom had to offer. All the books that he has written till date, I've read all of them. Then you have Yuval Noah Harari. You might have heard about the book Sapiens. Sapiens is one of his best sellers. All of his books are best sellers, but this is the one which people remember him by. Then we have Dan Brown. A lot of Dan Brown's novels have converted into movies. Then we have Diana Ethan. Anyone. You want to start with Mitch Albom? Perfect choice. One book that I'm going to recommend right now is Tuesdays with Morrie. Tuesdays with Morrie is the book that you can start for Mitch Albom. Sapiens, you can start for Yuval. And Dan Brown, you can start with Inferno. Okay? I'm hoping this is coming, I'm hoping all these writers or the books that I've suggested will come handy to you. Once you are done with what to read, let's find out how to read if you are reading for fun and entertainment. If you're reading it for hobby, you should read for enjoyment and to understand the storyline. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about vocab. Don't worry about language. Only worry about, am I enjoying the book? And am I understanding the story here? What's happening? What is the writer trying to say? What are the roles of characters in this movie? Only understand the enjoyment and the storyline part. And don't worry about unfamiliar word. Try to understand the gist. What is gist? The final understanding of the story. Don't worry about unfamiliar words. If you come across unfamiliar words, you can just ignore it. Leave it. I don't care. Next, summarize it into 4 to 5 lines with a friend. You have picked a book from Preeti Shenoy, and after reading the book, you have enjoyed it. You have understood the whole storyline. There were a lot of unfamiliar words, but you ignored them. Now, after everything is done, you will describe the entire story in 4 to 5 lines. I just read a book of Preeti Shenoy, and the book's name is, even I am not able to remember. I have my library on the side, so I am just taking help here. I think the book is Love a Little Stronger. So the book I read today was Love a Little Stronger by Preeti Shenoy, and it's about 2 characters. They fall in love, but their love did not come easy to them because they had to face a lot of struggles. But at the end, they met and it was a happy story. Just as done. Love story, 2 characters faced problem, happily married after. I'm just giving an example. It's not true. Okay, I don't really remember what was in that book. Anyways, so I hope this is done. If you are reading for hobby, these are the things that you should definitely worry about. These are the things that you should definitely worry about. Now, let's talk about if I am reading to learn English, to enhance English. What should I do, Ash, if I'm reading to learn English? All right, let's talk about what you should read if you are reading for learning. We have 3 options. We have short stories, we have articles, and we have short articles. Okay, I have given the link here. If you want the link, you will find in the description of this video as well. There is a page called as Mom Loves Best. It has a lot of short stories. There is a page called as jamesclear.com. It has a lot of articles, and after every article, there are few exercises as well that you guys can try doing. All right, there are a lot of exercises that you guys can try, practice your reading comprehension. After that, we have British Council's website link where you will find a lot of lengthy articles about various topics based on your level. If you are reading for B1, which is intermediate, this is the link. If you are reading for A1, A2. This is the link you can follow. I'm going to take you to the next understanding of the topic, which is called as how to read if I am reading for learning. I am going to take 2 minutes here before we understand this. In the coming few minutes, I'm going to shift it here because I need the board. Pay attention. All of you, please pay attention. What are we going to do now? In the coming few slides of this chapter, we have step-by-step process. The first process is all of you should do active reading. I'm going to explain each page separately, but please pay attention. First step is active reading. What is active reading? We'll discuss it. Second step is read it loud. All right? Read it loud. How to do that? I'm going to explain. And the third step is summarize. Summarize. This is the step-by-step process if you are reading books to learn English. First do the active reading, then do the loud reading, and then you have to summarize whatever you have read. I hope this is clear. Once you are clear with this, now let's talk about each one of them slowly and gradually for your understanding. The first subject we have is active reading. What to do in active reading? There you go. In active reading, you have to underline and highlight unfamiliar words, 5 at max. Let's say you are reading a chapter, and in the first chapter itself, you find 10 heavy words, 10 unfamiliar words. What to do? Ignore 5 of them. Focus of only 5 which are at your level of understanding and you think you can use them. So you're going to underline or highlight unfamiliar words, 5 at max. Underline or highlight. Okay. Next, try to guess the meaning from the context. Remember this? In the vocab chapter, if you haven't gone through the vocab session, the link is over here. Please visit the vocab chapter. We have talked about the context learning. Whenever you come across a word, you try to set an image to that word. In this case, whenever you come across a word, you have to guess the meaning with the help of context. Because all the words are written in a sentence. Let's say I have a sentence like this. This is the unfamiliar word. In order to understand this unfamiliar word, I have to understand what the writer is trying to say in this sentence. From that understanding, I will know the meaning of this word approximately. It might not be 100% correct, but you will get an understanding that the writer is trying to say this. So this is the meaning of this word. Okay. Next, write down phrases and idioms and expressions that sound natural in your word journal. This is something that I have taught you in the vocab chapter, how to create word journal. The link is right here. Please go ahead and visit that chapter after this video. So what am I doing here? I just told you to do active reading. And how to do active reading? The step number 1 was read a chapter or read few pages and collect 5 words at maximum. Write down the phrases and idioms and those words in your word journal. Only words that sound natural. That sound natural to you. And next, try to guess the meaning from the context. Alright? Once you're done with this, let's move on to read aloud. Lot of you have done this thing in the past. You have stood in front of the mirror. You have tried to speak on a certain topic. Here, you will be reading your book or that chapter loudly. What happens when you do it loudly? Couple of things happen. First of all, you improve your pronunciation and your fluency. How do you improve your pronunciation? When you say that word loudly, you will understand whether it's making sense to me. If not, you can go to a Cambridge website or just simply go to Google. You can go to Google. I'll show you the picture. In the next slide, I'll show you the picture. You will go to Google and type the pronunciation of the word pronunciation. It will give you a couple of options. You can verify your pronunciation. And next, you will enhance your fluency. When you read something loudly, you focus on up and down in the voice, and that's how your fluency gets modified. Also, it helps you to get comfortable with the rhythm of the language. What is rhythm? How do you sound when you speak in English? Do you sound fake? Do you sound confident? Do you sound somebody who has pretty good knowledge about the language? Are you comfortable with the up and down in the language? All of these things can be understood if you speak it loudly, or if you read it loudly, you will understand the rhythm of the language. Hindi, English, Punjabi, Telugu, Kannada, Odia, all of these languages have different rhythm. You cannot speak Hindi the way you speak English. You cannot speak Kannada the way you speak Malayalam. Every language has a rhythm. In order to get comfortable with that rhythm, we have to read our books loudly. And how much do you have to read? 15 to 20 chapters per day. That's it. 15 to 20 minutes per day, not chapters. Okay, moving on. Once you're done with that, let's see how to do it. You just don't have to read. You have to record yourself and listen to your pronunciation and intonation. Intonation, if you remember, there was a chart how you are going up and down in your speech is called as intonation. Pronunciation, how a certain word is pronounced or said. You have to record yourself and then check it. Later, you can compare it with the Cambridge pronunciation to identify areas of improvement. Now, if I break it down a little bit here, 15 to 20 minutes, 5 words, which are natural and easy to use, record them, check the pronunciation. How much time do you think it will take? 30 minutes at maximum. 30 minutes. 15 minutes to read. If you're able to read 3 pages, fine. 2 pages, fine. Our intention here is to learn, not to enjoy. We are learning here. 15 minutes for reading, 5 minutes to make your word journal, right? To write them down. And then I'm saying, let's say this is 20, another 10 minutes to practice pronunciation. Those 5 words I have to speak, record and compare. That's it. Do you think you can do that? If yes, please write down in the comment section. Ash, we are excited. We are in this and we're gonna do it. All right? Okay. Now let's move on. This is how the pronunciation website will look like. Either you can take help of Cambridge, as I mentioned, or you can directly go to Google, how to pronounce pronunciation. This is how the page will come up. Here we have Indian English pronunciation, British pronunciation, American pronunciation. Whichever accent you want to go with this. If you have this doubt, Ash, which accent to follow? I'll say go with Indian English pronunciation. You don't need American accent. You don't need British accent to communicate in this language. You are not here to impress somebody. You are here because this language is needed to get a job done. It's just a language. It's not your intelligence. It's not your personality. Let's be very clear on that. I don't want you to worry so much about whether I should talk in British accent or I should talk in Indian accent or whichever accent. No. We have a job. We have an interview. Let's go get that interview done with the normal English pronunciation. All right? Let's move on to the next thing. The final activity that you need to do is summarize. How to summarize is again few steps involved. After you finish the chapter, or let's say 3 to 4 pages, write a short summary in your own words. And this way you will focus on grammar. In grammar, you will know how to write sentences, how to worry about punctuations, how to put commas, where to put full stop, where to put hyphens. And you will also notice how to find good words to summarize something. Again, it's a step-by-step process. Read the chapter, then read it loudly, and finally summarize it. In summary, you have to write at least a short summary. I can say 3 to 4 sentences, or 3 to 4 is going to be way too less. Let's say 100 words. 100 words summary is more than enough. Moving on, we have, after you are done by writing the summary, later once you are done with at least 15 to 20 writing summary, you can start recording your summary verbally. You don't have to write. You finish the chapter, you start speaking it out. Then you have to explain the chapter to somebody. It's your choice, and it helps you in comprehension and structure your thoughts. When you, okay, let's take a minute. I'm trying to summarize it verbally. Why am I doing it verbally? Because I want people to comprehend what they have read, to understand what they have read, and they should be structuring their thoughts. What should I say first? What should come second? What should come in the end? This whole summarization should be done. Alright? So we have two kinds of summaries. We have writing summary and we have verbal summary. In verbal summary, we have to, start speaking it out loud so that we can understand the story and we can structure our thoughts. In writing, you have to write at least 100 word summary, and then you can check the grammar part of it. I have suggested few tools where you can check your grammar, you can paraphrase your writing. The video link is here, you can check that video as well. You will find all this data over there. Moving on, once we are done, let's talk about few targets for today's video. The target is very simple. You have daily targets and you have weekly targets. In daily targets, read for 20 to 30 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes is your choice, and at least find 3 to 5 new words and phrases. If I talk about weekly target, in weekly target, I want you to summarize a chapter and then practice explaining it to somebody by either writing or verbally. These are your targets. Also, please remember this. Don't make targets which you cannot fulfill. Another mistake which a lot of learners do, and even I do sometimes, not maybe with English language, but with something else. Don't set targets that you can never achieve. Set targets on daily basis and weekly basis. In daily basis target, my target is to just read and collect words. That's it. One day I've read, second day I've read, third day I've read. On the fourth day, I'll do my weekly target. In the weekly target, I have to write it down or I have to explain it to somebody. That's all my target is all about. I think this much we all can do. We don't have to worry too much. Next is the bonus tip, and if you are waiting till now, if you are stuck with me till now, write down in the comment section. Ash, I stayed till the end. You are my favorite people. You know what? You are my favorite. In the bonus tip, we have pair reading with listening. When I read a lot of books, or when I have finished almost 100 books, and when I read my 101 or 102, I started doing this. I started listening to audiobooks. So what I do now, I pick a book, I plug my earphones and I read while I listen. What happens when you do that? When you do that, when you combine both of them, listening while reading helps with pronunciation. I know how a certain word is pronounced. Intonation, up and down in the voice, and comprehension. I understand things easily. How to do it? Use audiobooks. There are a lot of audiobooks available free of cost on YouTube. Free of cost. Just check audiobook of whatever book you are reading. Okay? You will find it. Plug your earphones and read while you listen. Moving on. If you want the checklist for daily practice of reading, all you have to do is to write us an email on learnwithsamanash ash@gmail.com. You just have to say, Ash, can you share the checklist of the reading exercise? I'll be more than happy to share it with. Method 3 is describe an image. There is a picture on your screen. Now, the interesting part about this picture or this method is you can pick any picture. Any image that you find in a magazine, on Google, in somebody's phone, in your gallery, that image is perfect for this exercise. Now, what you should be doing with this exercise? You should focus on elements of the image. Focus on the elements of the image. This is an important word over here. I am teaching you how this method really works. First thing first, focus on elements. Now, can you guys tell me what elements do you see in this picture? Leave a comment. That's really important. I see some cushions. Okay, I cannot write on this maybe. Yes, I can write. I see some cushions. Then I see a table over here, right? I see a plant. So let me number them. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Then I see a carpet at the bottom, right? Along with that, I see some curtains. So I'll name it number 5. Then I see window, number 6. Then I see sunlight. Do you see sunlight over here? Number 7. These are the elements that I could see in this image. We have one more. We have a sofa. Let me take you back to the pointers. Focus on elements of the image. Once you have noticed all the elements of the image, you have to describe them in sentences. Here, details are really important for this exercise. These elements that you have counted, you have to start describing them by pointing out details. Details such as, what is the color of the pillow? Yellow. What is the color of the sofa? It's gray. What's the color of the plant? The plant is green. What is the color of the curtains? Transparent white. So these details are really important when you describe any image. Third thing, use adjectives to describe the items. Bright yellow sofa covers. Bright yellow sofa covers. So when I say bright, that becomes an adjective. It's really important that we give a lot of adjectives to describe any event. Lastly, you have to write 3 to 5 sentences to describe this image. I'm going to show you an example as well, but before that, I want you to take a moment and try to process everything we have discussed right now. Take a minute. Try to understand what did I just tell. Once you are done with that, let's see the answer on your screen. Here you go. If you notice on your screen, you can see a very good answer written over here. And while I explain it to you, I want you to focus on elements. I want you to focus on adjectives. I want you to focus on details. Now, this is a small, cozy living room. Living room, element 1, small and cozy. Next, it has a soft gray sofa. Sofa, soft gray. Details and adjectives. With bright cushions. What is the color of the cushions? It's bright. A round wooden table sits at the center. Details. Where is the table? At the center. And there is a green plant in the corner. The color of the plant, where is it? In the corner. Details. The sunlight coming through the window. Where is the sunlight coming from? Through the window. Makes the room feel warm and welcoming. Makes the room feel how? Warm and welcoming. Dividing the answer into 3 elements. Focus on details, focus on the elements, and give some adjectives. That's the simple funda to describe any image. Okay? Let's read this answer one more time. This is a small cozy living room. It has soft grey sofa with bright cushions. A round wooden table sits at the center, and there is a green plant in the corner. The sunlight coming through the window makes the room feel warm and welcoming. Don't you think this is a very good description of this image? This description will make you sound as if you are a native speaker, and it will make you sound as if you are confident and you can speak effectively and fluently without any grammatical errors. Okay? Now, Ash, this is all fine. You have given some time, we got the answer, but how do I do it? How do I really practice? We'll talk about that in a while. How to practice, that's the first element that I want you to do. The first thing is, you should write the description in the start of this process. At least for the next 10 days, you should only write the description. Don't start speaking. Don't start trying to do it in the moment. No. Start writing the description for at least 10 days. 10 days equal to 10 themes. This exercise, we are supposed to do it 3 days a week, but if you really have time in the start of your practice, you can make it 10 days in total. For 10 days, you will be writing down description of 10 simple images. This exercise should not take more than 10-15 minutes. And guys, if you are somebody who is eagerly wanting to work on your language, you should at least give 1 hour at home to practice. And this 1 hour you can divide throughout the day. You can take 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes while you're traveling to your office, 10 minutes while you're coming back from office, 20 minutes before you sleep, during lunchtime, or maybe when you don't have any work or when you don't have any sessions, you can do it. Now, I want to share a simple story over here. Back in 2012, while I was in my college, I didn't exactly do this because I didn't know a method like that exists, but I did something similar to this. I used to imagine things in my mind whenever I would want to talk to somebody. Before I went ahead and talked to that person, I would take some time and process what will I say. So I was in a way describing the whole situation in my mind. Some people are calling it thinking in English. Some people are calling it practicing beforehand. Some people call it describing a situation. So fast forward 12 years from then, I have been teaching, I have been formulating methods, and this is the method that I genuinely feel is helpful if you practice according to the steps that I tell you in today's session. I have used it, I have made other students use it, and they all have got remarkable results. All right? Why this method works, I'll tell you in a minute. But before that, later start describing it out loud. Once you are done by writing the description, later we can start practicing it out loud. Okay? Let's say I'm standing in a room, I see my library on left side. Someday I'll show you my library. On the left side I have my library. So if I have to describe it, I'll say that I have a big wooden library in the corner of a room. The room is quite dark because it's a studio as well. In my library, I have 4 or 5 shelves in there, and each shelf is tagged with hundreds of books. Each book are from different writers, and they are divided across genres such as fiction, non-fiction, crime, love stories, etc. I am a huge fan of reading, and this is one of the hobby that I have developed in the last couple of days. This is called as describing an image out loud. You can also do it with the live object like I did right now. This is another method that I'm going to teach you later. The video link is over here. But in today's class, we are focusing on describing an image, precisely an image. Next, it won't be perfect in the start. I am telling you this in advance. Initially, this is the most boring exercise you will do. But practice makes you perfect. The more you do the description, the more you start speaking it out loud, you become perfect in this. All right? You really become perfect in this if you practice slowly and gradually. Let me take you to the next part, how to check your grammar. Ash, I have written all the answers. I've started recording my description, but how do I know if I'm doing it correctly? I'm going to show you 3 different tools to check the answer, and each tool has a different purpose to offer. So you can use 3 tools side by side to check 3 independent things. What's the first one? The first one is Grammarly. Grammarly has Grammarly has a free version as well as the paid version. We have a free version and then we have a paid version. In today's session, I'll show you the free version. Paid version is not required for you. It's okay for somebody who is a writer, who is trying to write a book. They can use the paid version of it. You don't need it. This is how your Grammarly will look like. The video might, have some lines over there, so please ignore it. This is how your Grammarly page looks like. Over here, you can type your answer. Over here, you can type your answer and it will automatically suggest you some corrections. The corrections will come over here step by step. Some suggestions might be for premium version, but you can go with the basic suggestions. Type your answer over here, see the suggestions over here. At the same time, it also have a new feature, Write with AI Generative. If you want to take help of AI, it will automatically give you the suggestions. Okay. Moving on, we have the next tool, which is Quillbot. Quillbot is precisely used for multiple purposes, but one major purpose of Quillbot is it helps you to paraphrase your answer. Whatever answer you have written, if you want to change the language, if you want to change the tone of the answer, you can use Quillbot. It's used for paraphrasing. Let me show you how Quillbot looks like. This is the page of Quillbot. You just have to log in with your email addresses. In Quillbot, you will type your answer over here. You will click on paraphrase. The suggestion will come here. I have written, you can type your answer here and the Quillbot will suggest the corrections. Here you can input your response and the Quillbot will make correction suggestions. This is paraphrasing, changing the words, changing the tone, changing the tense, everything. Over here, we have a grammar checker, we have AI detector, we have plagiarism checker. Plagiarism helps you to check whether this is a new idea, this is a new content, or you have copy pasted it from somewhere. So these four different activities could be done with the help of Quillbot. Moving on, we have the last one, which is easily accessible to everybody who has an Android phone or who has a laptop, Windows or Mac, it's a choice. Mostly in Macs, you have a Microsoft Word editor. If you have Microsoft Office and if you open Microsoft Word, it automatically has an editor inside. How does that work? This is how Microsoft Word page looks like. You have to type your answer over here. While you're typing it, it automatically gives the suggestions. Automatically. If my spelling is wrong over here, it will show some red lines at the bottom. If I do the right click, I can see the correction. This is the third tool which really comes handy. I'm only suggesting you free tools because what's the point of paying for it if you can do something for free? Am I right or am I right? Okay, let's talk about why this method really works, Ash. What's so unique about this method? This method works in 3 different situations. First, it helps you to improve your rhythm. I've already talked about the rhythm part in the previous video. The link is over here. Rhythm is the way a certain language is spoken. So speaking out loud helps you to get familiar with the natural flow of the language. Hindi cannot be spoken like English. English cannot be spoken like Malayalam. Telugu cannot be spoken like Kannada. Or Marathi cannot be spoken like Odia. Every language has a rhythm. And if I want to work on my English rhythm, I should do a description exercise and then I have to do it out loud. Second, it boosts your comprehension. Comprehension means understanding something. You start noticing details and describing them accurately. I'll repeat, you start noticing details and you know how to describe them with the help of right vocab. I want to take a minute here again to just point out something. Every activity in your life can become an activity to enhance your English. Everything you do. If you're having a cup of coffee with a friend, you can actually take a minute from that, think at the back of your mind, can I describe this situation? If you go to a restaurant, it becomes an image. You can click the image in your mind and you can start describing it. Every activity in your life is an opportunity for you to work on your language. Please notice, as I keep telling this multiple times, you don't have to work on a language because it's something that everybody is telling you. You should work on it because it helps you to develop your personality. Let me take you forward to the last point over here. It helps you to build confidence because structuring sentences in the spot makes real life conversation easier. When you practice like this at home and when you go out to talk to actual people, you have many new examples in your mind, you have new vocab added to your dictionary, and you have the confidence to speak correctly. All right, moving on. The more you do this, the faster you improve. This is the simple trick. 10 exercises, write them down. Next 10, record them and speak out loud. And lastly, call to action I have for you is pick an image, any image, pick any image. Describe it. Check using Grammarly and Quillbot. Share your responses in the description. I would love to check your answers. And I keep telling this, comment section is open, guys. Why don't you share some answers with me so I can interact with you? It's not paid, it's free of cost. You can write your answers there. These are 2 exercises or 2 images that I'm giving you as an homework. The answer for these images, you can find it by writing us an email on learnwithsamanash@gmail.com. Image 1, image 2. These are AI generated images, so don't worry, they're very colorful. You have to type the answer in the comment section, or you can write us an email on learnwithsamanash@gmail.com if you want to receive answers or if you want me to check your answers. This is the email address. You can reach out to us. Method 4, themed vocabulary from resources around you. Before we talk about the samples, I'm going to talk about why theme-based method really works. It works in 3 simple steps. 3 simple reasons why this is your go-to method. The first reason is it focuses on specific situations. It focuses on specific situations. You know exactly what to talk about a particular theme. If you are going to a restaurant, you will know what sentences to use in restaurant related situation. It helps you to improve vocabulary and grammar. You know what words will be appropriate for shopping situation. What words will actually work for shopping situation, and most importantly, you will know what sentences to use, what tenses to use, so your grammar will be also sorted. I'm gonna move the screen a little bit here because I'm thinking you might not be able to see it. Okay. Second reason why this is working, because it improves vocabulary and grammar. You know the words, you know the sentences, you know the tenses, you know exactly what prepositions to use, and hence this is why it's required. And lastly, it builds fluency and confidence. Since you can use the right word, you can create good sentences, what's going to happen? Your fluency is going to be improved and your confidence will increase, because now you can handle any situation, any real life situation, shopping, restaurant, buying something, gifting something, casual talks, anything you can literally handle with this method. Now, moving on. On your screen, we'll have a couple of examples. The first example that you can see on your screen is a cafe. It's definitely not a cafe in India, but yes, in metropolitan cities, you can actually find cafes like these now. In Bangalore, in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Gurgaon, in Gujarat, you will find cafes like that. So the first theme we have at hand is a conversation at a cafe, and we're going to order something. We're going to order a coffee or maybe some biscuits along with it. Let's see how a good conversation can be really helpful. Hi. Can I see the menu, please? You go to a restaurant, you stand there, and I am talking about a cafe, but you can actually fit this anywhere where you have to order. Can I see the menu, please? These words are really important when you are talking to somebody for requesting. Staff will reply, sure, here it is. You can say, thanks, I would like a cappuccino and a slice of chocolate cake. So I'm ordering 2 items. Now, if you notice carefully, words such as I would like, these are phrases which are really important. A cappuccino and a slice of chocolate. You will know exactly what article to use, what kind of phrases to use if you prepare these cheat sheets in advance. This theme-based method is really helpful because it's like having cheat sheets for life. You know, these cheat codes you used to enter while playing Vice City. Similarly, before you go to an actual situation, at home, you are preparing a cheat sheet so that you can directly speak when it's needed. Next, staff is replying, great choice. Anything else? Notice these commas, question marks, exclamation points, full stops. You are replying, no, that's all. How much is it? How much is it is a very good phrase or a very good sentence to ask what is the cost of this. Next, that will be 150 rupees. Isn't that cheap or is it expensive to have a cappuccino and a chocolate cake? This conversation really works at Starbucks or CCD if you are looking for ordering a cappuccino and a cake. Let's move on to the situation number 2 or theme 2. This is theme 2. It's a conversation at a street, any busy street. You are lost, you are new to that town, and people only can communicate with you in English language. You have to ask for directions. Where does this happen? Probably nowadays everywhere in India, people are preferring to talk in English rather than their native language. It's not like I'm not promoting English. I do promote native languages more. But again, if you are in a city where people are not comfortable speaking in Hindi, like in southern part of India, you can definitely use these. But if you are in northern part of India, I'll still say use your native language. That's always better. So you have to ask directions. This is the conversation that you can actually use. Excuse me, could you help me? I'm looking for the nearest metro station. Excuse me, could you help me? Again, a good phrase to start using right away. I am looking for the nearest metro station. And the person is replying, this is the short form for stranger. I was not able to fit stranger here. Of course, it's 2 blocks straight ahead. In India, we don't say 2 blocks straight. You can say, let's say 2, what is the right word instead of blocks in India? Let's say 2 shops away, you know. If you just cross 2 shops from here, you will straight ahead, then take a left. Thank you. Is it far from here? No, not at all. It's just a 5 minutes walk. You can just walk there. Thank you so much. Have a great day. You can reply, same to you. Or the stranger can say, have a great day to you too as well. Alright, so next time if you are looking to ask for directions, these are straightforward sentences that you can start using. Okay, straightforward sentences, you don't have to change anything in there. Now, let me share an incident with you. When I went to Bangalore for the first time back in 2017, I am from North India. In Bangalore, maximum people are comfortable speaking in their native language or English. So when I landed up there, I didn't realize that I've actually changed multiple states, and I was talking in Hindi to people there, and they didn't reply. So I had to come handy with my English knowledge. Whatever English I had, I started using it, and I actually did this. I asked for directions. I asked where is the shop. I asked where is the nearest mall. Everything I had to ask. Now, you might be wondering, Ash, you can actually use Google to do that. But again, if you really want to change or enhance your language, you need to start interacting with people. Above all the methods that I'm going to teach you in these sessions, the only method that actually works, I mean, they also work, but they can only work if you interact with people. You can practice at home, but until and unless you go out and actually try this, you will not know how you feel in English language. The problem happens here that at home we feel pretty confident. We feel that we can actually tackle a situation. But when you talk to somebody, you will understand where your confidence is lying. Do you feel any kind of nervousness while talking? Do you sweat while talking? Do you shiver while talking? They can only be experienced if you put yourself into that situation. I have done that hundreds of times. And every time I have evolved into something better. Next time I was able to perform a little bit better. Okay? All right. Let me take you to situation 3. Situation 3 is this. You are having a conversation at your office. You are making a small talk. Maybe a new colleague has joined and you have to talk to them. This conversation will really come handy in that case. The conversation looks like this. Hey, how was your weekend? A good start. Always ask about weekends. Pretty good. I went to shopping. This is colleague. Okay. I went to shopping. How about you? You will reply, that sounds fun. I had a relaxing weekend. Relaxing is a good adjective to use when you're talking about weekends. Just stayed home and watched some movies. Colleague can reply, nice. What did you watch? So you can continue from there. You can say, I watched this and this show on Netflix. It was really amazing. But once you had a good start, you have actually built your confidence. You have built your reputation. You can continue from there. All right. Let's move on to the next theme. We have about shopping. In this, we are shopping for a shirt at a mall. Shopping for a shirt at a mall. How can the conversation go? The conversation can look like this. Now, please understand, these are some samples that I'm sharing with you. If you need more samples, more themes, all you have to do is to write an email to learnwithsamanash@gmail.com, and soon we'll be integrating all the free PDFs on our website. So you can directly visit english.learnwithsamanash.com and you can check the free resources. All these documents will be uploaded there. Also, a live session is starting soon. If you haven't registered, if you really want to practice all of these things with me, you want to have one-on-one feedback from me, you want to actually feel that impact into your speaking, please join our live sessions because we are excited. We have created something really amazing there and I want you to experience that. All right, let's come to today's conversation. Hi, can you help me? I'm looking for a formal shirt. A direct question and a direct situation. No manipulation, no I'm looking for, can you help me to find these kind of fumbles, these kind of irritating sounds that we make, these kinds of fillers that we use can be avoided if you actually start practicing at home with these conversations. Next, sure, what size are you? I'm medium, please. Do you have it in blue color? Let me check. Yes, we do. Would you like to try it on? Yes, please. Where is the fitting room? It's over there. Now, if you notice, in this conversation, lot of small sentences or phrases are being used. Medium, please. Do you have it? Let me check. Yes, we do. Would you like to try it on? Yes, please. These are simple phrases. You don't have to create huge sentences for everything. Sometimes simple phrases can actually convey the same information. So why do we have to create lengthy sentences? Okay. Over here, this is a short snippet from the conversation. This can keep on going. You can ask for a trouser. You can ask for something else. It's your choice. Now, let me take you to the bonus tip for today's session. This is the bonus tip. If you really want this method to work wonders, to work magic, what you have to do, you have to record yourself practicing the conversation. Let's take an example. I have a conversation about shopping at a mall. I have printed it down into a paper. Looking at it, standing in front of the mirror, or maybe not in front of the mirror, I took out my phone, I started recording. My recording will actually see how am I practicing these conversations. Hi, I'm looking for a shirt, a blue formal shirt. Sure, what size are you? I am medium size. Now, please understand this. A conversation happens between two people. It's you and the other person. When you're practicing at home, you will not find the other person. So what to do in that case? In that case, you will actually practice by doing a role playing. You can either role play with yourself, or you can do it with a friend or by yourself. If you don't have a friend, if you don't have a speaking partner, you practice yourself. First, deliver the dialogue of the first person, then deliver your dialogue, then deliver their dialogue, then your dialogue. Now, conversation really becomes effective if you add emotions to it, if you add some natural tone to it. Now, when you go to a shopping mall, you are a bit happy, you are always chirpy, and you really want to find that product. So you have to show that enthusiasm. You have to show that excitement into your voice. Hey, I'm looking for a blue color shirt. Sure, sir. What size are you? I'm a medium, I guess. This is how medium looks like. Sure, sir. We have these many colors in medium. Which color do you want? I think I'll go with maybe blue and pink, light pink color. Wonderful choice. Which color would you like to try first? I'll go with baby pink. All right, there is the fitting room. So you have to feel the conversation. You have to feel how the situation actually looks like. If you practice like that, if you add emotions, if you add some language modulation, you can actually feel that your language is improving. Your confidence will boost automatically. Okay? So you're going to record yourself and you're going to practice by the role-playing method. Moving on, we have the daily routine task. This is how your daily routine will look like. In your daily routine, the first thing you will be doing is in the morning. If you are going to a job, this method actually fits into your schedule. If you are at home, you don't have to go anywhere. Still follow the same method. Instead of saying commute, you can just say afternoon practice. Okay, instead of saying commute, you can say afternoon. Commute means you are traveling. You're going from your home to office, from your home to college, from your home to anywhere. If you don't find time during commute, if you're driving yourself, when you reach that place or during the entire day, take some 5-10 minutes. Okay, morning. In the morning, what you have to do is spend 5 minutes finalizing the theme. Which theme am I going to practice today? During the afternoon, you have to write 5 to 10 sentences conversation. I showed you a couple of examples. You can create similar. And during the evening time, in the evening time, you have to dedicate at least 10 to 20 minutes to practice before bed in a silent place where nobody can disturb you. Initially, you can practice by just reading it. For 5 minutes, just read the sentences. And once you're done with that, for the remaining 10 minutes, speak it out loud. Listen to your answer, start recording your conversation and practice it at least 5 to 6 times. Every single time you should be able to improve your language tone a little bit. Every single time you should add more and more emotions. Now, as I was saying, if you want my help in this, if you want my help in terms of suggesting you what tone to use, how to add that emotion, our live sessions are more than open for you. You can still join. All right. Let's move on. We have got a proper schedule here. We know what to do in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Let's talk about the call to action, what I want you to do. I really want you to start by picking a theme, shopping, restaurant, your choice. Create a conversation in the afternoon. Then check it using Grammarly. You don't want to write anything wrong. You don't want to write anything inappropriate. These days, you can actually take help from AI for creating a conversation with you. But again, AI creates a very computer generic situation. You have to add a human touch to it. You have to use your emotions. You have to use what kind of situations actually happen in your life. So create a conversation, check it on Grammarly. And this is the most important part. I want to read them. I want to read your conversations. I want to read your stories. I want to read your descriptions. I want to know which books have you read so far. Method 5, things around you. How to describe an object or objects in this case? Let's take the examples. We have 3 sentences on your screen right now. I think this is enough zoomed. Okay. We have 3 sentences. The first sentence, the lamp is on the table next to the couch. Notice the items. Notice the details. Here we are talking about the lamp. This is the item. Where is this lamp? This lamp is on the table. Position. So I'm gonna keep writing the details that I'm talking here. First thing first, we are talking about the item. Is that clear? Items. Next, we will be talking about the position of those items. Where is that object placed? Also, we have 2 positions. On the table, next to the couch. Now, if you notice, this is an intermediate sentence, and the only thing we have done so far is there is an item. Since we are talking about only one item, I have put the lamp. One item, unique item. Where is this? On the table next to the couch. On is your preposition, next to is your preposition. There is only one table, so I have done the table. There is only one couch, so I have written the couch. All you have to do to create such sentences is to place articles, objects, in this case noun, and prepositions, and then another noun, preposition, another noun. Okay, so here we only talked about where is the position of that item. Position is your key number 1. Next, this is my favorite coffee mug because it keeps my drink warm for hours. I gave a purpose to my coffee mug. This is the coffee mug I'm talking about, item. I gave a purpose to this coffee mug that it keeps my drink warm for hours. Or you can say, I just gave extra information why this is my favorite coffee mug. I gave extra information about my coffee mug. Third, this lamp provides excellent light for reading at night. What is the purpose of the lamp? To get excellent light while reading at night. Okay, again notice this lamp provides simple present tense. If you are confused about prepositions, articles, tenses, don't worry. We just started our advanced series. We have many videos to come in which I'll be talking about all the grammar topics. We'll have a proper series for grammar separately in this context itself. Okay, next, provides excellent light for reading at night. I am talking about the purpose of the light. So in these 3 sentences, I gave the position, I gave extra information, and I gave the purpose of that object. Okay, let me summarize with the help of the table. In order to describe any item around you. And why should we use these items? Because when you take a moment describing that item, you're actually thinking the right vocab for that particular object, the right grammar structure for that sentence, and most importantly, you are enhancing your fluency and your thinking power. All right. So you can talk about where the object is, key number 1, give details about the object, 2, and describe its purpose, 3. So whenever or the next time you're practicing, let's say I'm taking a book. Do you want me to grab a book right now? Okay, I've got a book in my hand. Sorry, I just went for a second. This is the book, the psychology book, Big Ideas Simply Explained. I have to talk about this book, and I'll explain this book with the 3-step process. The first step is, where is the book? I have a book in my hand, but before that, it was in my library. Okay? Or if you want to be more specific, give the name of the book. The book name is the psychology book. It was kept in the library, but I just took it in my hand. Okay, give details. In this book, there are a lot of ideas about psychology explained with a lot of pictures, with beautiful text, and they're talking all about psychology. Next, describe its purpose. This book really helps you to understand big concepts of psychology in simple language. That's the purpose of this book. Did you just notice with 3-step process, I generated 4 to 5 sentences on a topic such as a book. It's a simple topic. But since I knew how my ideas are going to flow, I'll talk about this, then this, then this. That's why there is a downward arrow here. You keep going from top to bottom, you actually create 4 to 5 sentences on any topic you want. Okay, I'm just going to throw it here. On my sofa, don't worry, I'm not disrespecting the book, it's right on my sofa. So this is the step you have to follow. Take examples: light, bottle, pen, sofa, chair, table, everything. Create a context like this, create 4 to 5 sentences, focus on the tense. Since I'm only talking about objects in present tense, I'll be using simple present tense here. If I want to talk about something for future, I can use future reference also. Okay, let's get going. These are few things that you should be taking care while explaining objects or while describing objects. Use adjectives and phrases to make your sentences richer. Look at this example. The book on the shelf is one of the best novels I have read. One of the best novels is a phrase. One of the best novels is a phrase. When you add such a big phrase in your sentence, you are automatically making your sentence look richer. And what do I mean by looking richer? I mean advanced. I mean native-like. I mean somebody that you would want to hear. Okay? So you have to use adjectives and phrases. Again, where is the book? The book is on the shelf. Why do I have this book? Because I'm reading it. Simple logic, already explained. The chair by the window, where is the chair by the window, is very comfortable for relaxing. Comfortable is the word that I have added to show the adjective. To show how is my chair. My chair is comfortable. Okay? These are 2 simple things that you have to do while creating such sentences. Now, why did I merge topics around you as well as sentences in the same lecture? It's because what you're doing here is creating sentences. And the more you create sentences by looking at things around you, the more you start practicing with them, the better your fluency becomes. Believe me or not, this is the basic rule. Practice by speaking or writing. Unless you're not going to speak it out loud, unless you're not going to record it and check it, your fluency is not going to improve. But if you do this, believe me, within 25 or 15 to 25 days, you will see tremendous improvement in you. I can guarantee on that because I have mastered students in the past in my live sessions, which you already know is starting soon on english.learnwithsaminash.com. The sessions are going to be on Zoom and I really want you to practice with me. Give it a shot. It's not a very expensive course. You will enjoy practicing with me. I can guarantee again on that. Okay. Let's get going. Now we have the big mystery coming up. 25 everyday English sentences. I have divided these 25 English sentences into 5 themes. We have daily conversations, we have shopping, we have work-related sentences coming up, and we have advanced sentences coming up. All those sentences we'll be discussing right now. I want you to focus on what we just discussed and the vocab in these sentences. Let's get going. The first theme we have is daily conversations. These are your 5 sentences. First, we'll be talking about 3. I am planning to reorganize my workspace this weekend. Details: when are you going to do this? What are you going to do? And this is reorganize workspace. These are the words that you should be using when you want to talk about something like this. Next, could you explain that concept again in simpler terms? This is the sentence you can write in the chat box. Could you, Ash, explain that concept in simple terms? This is a very good language when you want to sound more polite and you want to request something. Next, the weather forecast says it might rain later today. The weather forecast says it will be sunny today. Okay, or it might not rain today. Anything you want to talk about weather, this is a good sentence you can use. And when I say use these sentences, I actually mean you can directly copy paste them. Just change couple of words. You don't want it to rain today, you want it to snow today. All you have to do is change rain to snow. You want to do something else, you can just do something else. You can copy paste these sentences in order to use them. I want you guys to use at least 5 sentences out of 25 in the next 2 days. Can you do that for me? And where should I practice, Ash? In the comment section. Nowhere else. In the comment section, based on the situation, try to use 5 sentences out of 25 to see if you can remember them properly. Let's move on to the next one. We have, I prefer tea over coffee because it feels lighter. Somebody comes and asks you, do you like tea or coffee? This is your reply. I prefer tea over coffee. Why? Because it feels lighter. Next, I'll join you in a moment. I just need to finish this task. Next time you are working on something and somebody is calling you continuously. Somebody is saying, come, we'll go to the market, we'll go to the shopping, we'll go to the movies. This is the sentence you can use. I'll join you in a moment. I just need to finish this task. Okay? All of these sentences are well structured with proper vocab used, and most importantly, they look or they sound more native like. They will boost your confidence, they will boost your fluency and the rhythm of your language. That's an important factor. Okay. We have work and education related concepts or sentences coming up. These are the sentences. Could we schedule a meeting to discuss this in detail? Could you conduct a live session to discuss this in detail? Or, I'm working on improving my English speaking skills. I'm working on improving my presentation skills. I'm working on improving my dance skills. Whichever skills you want to improve, you can use this sentence right away. Next, I would appreciate your feedback on my latest report. This over here is the short version of I would. I would. So if you want to say something in modal verb for future references, you can use this sentence. I would appreciate your feedback on my writing. I would appreciate your feedback on my speaking skills. Anything you want to talk about, please go ahead and use these sentences. Next we have, the session was insightful and offered practical tips. This is a comment you can leave in today's session or any of my previous videos. I'll be more than happy if I see a sentence like that written in one of my videos. The session was insightful and offered practical tips. That's what our entire objective is, to give you practical tips. Next, I need to finish this task before moving on to the next one. I need to finish. I need, because it's important, it's necessary. This task. Remember these tiny details we are adding to our sentences, they are really important. They comprises a good grammar structure. This task, because I want to indicate to the next one. 4 words joined together just to say that this is the next one. What happens usually when people or students are trying to write good English, they just skip on the next task or they skip this on to next one. Every single word in a sentence plays an important role. That's what we're going to understand in the next lecture called as parts of speech. We are starting a grammar series soon in this advanced English course. So if you haven't watched all the video till now, please do it. I am pasting the link of the playlist over here so that you can follow all the videos properly. Okay, moving on, we have next theme, which is shopping and dining. Shopping and dining. 3 sentences on your screen right now. This jacket fits perfectly, but I would like it in a different color. I would like it in different color. This is a phrase, I would like it, a phrase. I am trying, this is the short form of I am. Generally, when we have two words like that, we should always write the shorter version of them. This sound advanced. I am trying to find a gift that's unique, that is unique, but not too expensive. Not too expensive. Good word over here. I am looking for a dress that's suitable for a formal occasion. When you go to shop next time to a mall, this is the sentence you can use. Excuse me, I'm looking for a dress that's suitable for a formal occasion. Can you suggest? This person will automatically indicate to the dress. Now, you may have this question. Ash, why do I have to learn all of this? Why do I have to talk in English? Believe me or not, you don't have to if you don't want to. If you are okay, if you are comfortable in conveying your information in your native language, because the other person can also understand your native language, you should always talk in your native language. We should always promote our native languages. But let's assume you are in a situation where the other person cannot understand your language. What to do in that case? In that case, English is used. English comes really handy when you move to a different state, when you move to metropolitan cities, when you move to different country for work and studies. This is the language you will have to use in order to communicate. And these are the sentences that you can right away use to communicate. You just have to make a list of these sentences. If you want me to send you a PDF, you have to write us an email on learnwithsamash@gmail.com. Just type in that email, Ash, can you share the sentences PDF? We have created all the free PDFs already. You can check them here. Okay. Now, let's get going to the next sentence on your screen. I would like to book a table I'll repeat again. I would like to book a table for two, that means two people, at 7 p.m. this evening. Notice something very carefully. Detail and detail. What time? 7 p.m. When? This evening. If you want your sentences to look more intermediate or to sound more intermediate and advanced, details are mandatory. The more details you give about your items or your event, the better you sound. Next, can I have the bill, please? I need to leave soon. Notice here, can I have the bill, comma, please is added at the end, and we have a question mark because I started my sentence with can. Next, I need to leave soon. This is an extra information I'm giving. Let's move on. Also in the comment section, let me know which one is your favorite sentence. Travel and transportation is our next theme. These are the sentences we have. How long does it take to get to the airport from here? If you have to ask somebody, how long will it take? This is the sentence. Don't say how much time. Don't say that. Say how long does it take to get to the airport from here? Or my flight got delayed, so I'll arrive later than expected. Your flight was delayed, so you are reaching to the location a little late. You have to tell this to your brother on the phone. Hey, I'm so sorry, my flight got delayed, so I'll arrive a little later than I promised. Okay? You can cancel your Ola if you already know this. Okay. Can you help me figure out the route to this location? Instead of saying, where is this address? Instead of saying, can you tell me where is this? Do this. Can you help me figure out the route to this location? Can you help me figure out the route to this location? Can is actually used to ask question, but at the same time, it actually has a very decent touch to it. It's not rude, it's decent. Okay. Next sentences we have, I prefer traveling by train because it's more comfortable. Simple sentence. Exploring new cultures is one of the best parts. Remember this phrase? One of the best parts of traveling. I want to add a bit of an information here. Whenever you use one of the something, that something will be plural. Notice, one of the parts, plural. Always this word will be in plural. This is an adjective that I have added. It's optional. One of the best parts of traveling. Exploring is a good word that you can start using. Moving on to the next sentence over here on your screen is advanced conversation. All of these sentences have really good words. Let's talk about them. If I had known. If. Such sentences are called as conditionals. The sentences that starts with if or you have if in the middle of the sentence, those sentences are called as conditional. In our grammar lectures, I'll be properly teaching you conditionals. Don't worry. If I had known about the traffic, I would have left earlier. Simply, अगर मुझे पहले से पता होता तो मैं जल्दी निकल जाता. Such sentences are advanced sentences. Climate change is one of the most pressing issues. Do you see this? Plural. Of our time. This word over here, it's really good. Pressing issue, that means important issue. Okay. The debate highlighted. Instead of saying the debate was about this, you can say the debate highlighted various perspectives. Such a good word. Various perspective on the issue. Isn't that amazing? The lecture highlighted pressing issues about topics around you, or grammar lecture. Now I want to take a moment again to just add this bit of an information or a piece of information. Anybody can fumble. I just fumbled in front of you, and I had fumbled in many of my videos in the past. I never edit those parts because I want you to relate with me. I want you to understand this is a language. Just like your native language, you can fumble in English as well. Fumbling doesn't mean your knowledge is less, doesn't mean your personality is not enough, doesn't mean your English is not okay. It means that while I was processing my information, my tongue slipped. I just lost track of the speaking portion. That's all. That's all happened. The way you never feel embarrassed when you fumble in your native language or Hindi or Kannada, anything, similarly, never feel embarrassed when you fumble in English. Until unless you get this confidence inside, you won't be able to communicate properly. The moment you can get this confidence that it's okay to fumble, you are already on the rise high. I'm telling you that. Okay, let's get going. Next we have, while the idea is innovative, good word, good connector, its implementation might be challenging. Implementation might challenging. Do you see how many words are we using here which are good, and they are not heavy words. They are not, you won't be able to not know the meaning of these. Can you tell me, do you know the meaning of innovative? Implementation, challenging. Can I get yes, Ash, we know the meanings of these words, but we don't use these words. And that's what I already told you. Always collect words which are natural and easy to use. These are the words which all lie at C1, C2 level, which C1, C2, that means advanced English, and they are very easy to use. You just have to use them appropriately. Next, balancing personal and professional life is a challenge many face. Instead of saying many people face this challenge, we have written balancing personal and professional life is a challenge many face. This is another way of saying many people face challenge to balance personal and professional life. Instead of saying that, use this sentence. Believe me, this is better. This is more sophisticated. Next, we have bonus tip for today's lecture. In order to get the maximum benefit from topics around you and sentences practice, you should record all of these things. Any sentence that you are practicing, record it and then listen back for improvements. See if you are able to pronounce each and every word properly. See if your grammar is going thoroughly correct. See if you are getting that fluency tone in or that rhythm of English language. Next, try topics around you at least 3 to 4 times a day. Any topic, pen, table, lights, At least have 3 to 4 topics in a day and create 3 to 4 sentences on each topic with the help of the method that I just taught you. Okay? Now, let's get going to talk about call to action. What is your call to action for today's video or today's lecture? Very simple. Let me use, for a change, blue pen. Oh, that's a glitter. Sorry, red. Wonderful. Okay. Pick an object. First thing first, pick an object. Which object? Anything. Create sentences. How many sentences? 4 to 5 or 3 to 4. Check it using Grammarly. Where to do that? I've already explained how to use Grammarly in one of my previous videos. In fact, I had suggested 2 other methods. The link is over here. You might have already seen it. Check it using Grammarly. Most importantly, can you please share your sentences in the comment section? I always keep asking that, but I don't see any comments. Please, I need this. I need to feel connected with you guys. So this is something that I really expect you to do. In case you want any previous PDFs, any free documents, write us an email on learnwithsamanash@gmail.com. If you have any questions, if you want me to create videos on any specific topic, you have to either leave a comment or you can write us an email here. Hope you had fun in this video, and these are all the methods that we were supposed to discuss. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.